Hello there and welcome back. You might be quite surprised to see that I'm actually outside and not squirreled away in my art room making comics for once. And I hoped for this video that you don't mind. I'm going to go straight into reading something that I wrote after this day drawing by the river. So make sure you're feeling really comfortable and cozy before we begin. This morning my friend sent me the message, "Thank you for yesterday. It was nice to just exist around the pair of you," meaning me and my other friend, the other person you can see in the video. We had spent the day by a river, at a place treasured in their childhood memories that I had never been to before. Me and my friend had enough bags between us you could have wondered if we had the kitchen sink, while the other just had a small tote bag. I'd packed for drawing, filming, reading, potential paddling, sun protection, and as always I'm trusted to have my first aid kit. My care for preparedness and safety, earning me one of my nicknames, Dr. Sam. When we got there, however, I found myself at first simply sitting there, content with watching the ducks and enjoying the funny sight of children throwing bread over my friend's head to feed them. Because to children, adults like us are nothing but basic obstacles, like rocks, to be aware of but not at all concerned with. It was colder than we expected, and we fell into the typical trap of the British people, getting overly excited by 3 days where it hasn't rained yet. I was the lucky one though, still wearing my jeans and bringing a sweater, while they had braved bare legs. My friend has a habit of worrying when things aren't going quite to plan, anxiously asking if we're still having a good time, or if we want to leave or do something else, apologising as if she is somehow to blame for the sun not being warm enough. She cares deeply about treasuring every moment, making things special and capturing memories in any way possible, most recently with her film camera, which with every lot developed as her lighting up with glee and praising the warm colours of Kodak gold. My observation is that on the downside, this can sometimes mean she's overly concerned or worried about the moods and experiences of the other people she's with, as if making sure everyone is having the best time possible is a task she must solely take on, when it should never be the task of friends to constantly entertain each other, and it's not a burden that I want her to shoulder. I hope that the more we tell her, the more she'll believe that simply spending time together will always be enough. It is surely for us to take responsibility for our own boredom, but personally I never get bored with things as simple as talking to my friends, especially on deeper levels. I'm practically thrilled when people open up to me and talk about their lives, their worries, their perceptions on things, what they dream about. Some of my fondest memories are just of conversations, or a time my friend cooked for us, and my other friend brought us tea and chocolate, or the many evenings we've spent playing countless board games I'd never even heard of until we met. Okay, fair enough, board games are more of an activity, but they're still on that side of activities that many people see as a kind of okay thing to do on a dull, rainy day when you have nothing better to do, but not something to dedicate much more time to than that. But we're all different, in many more ways than I think we realise, and what we see as a valuable use of our time will also be very different. That day at the river, there were many kids paddling with brightly coloured fishing nets, searching for minnows or other such tiny fish. We noticed that they didn't seem to be bothered by the cold, and I thought that to them they mustn't have felt it so much, partly because they were too focused on what they were doing. To them, the search for fish, and trying not to stumble over on the rocks, came above everything else. Time didn't exist. Lunch was nothing. School was but a distant memory, their futures nothing to think on for even a second. To them there was only minnow, and to me that day there was only drawing them, and drawing an old bench, and trees, and my friend, and talking softly about random things, how I'd been thinking on how I want to feel I'm someone who can be relied upon, and that I dreamily wondered the other day what it would have been like to have been a big sister, and if I'd have been any good at it, and my friend said she thinks that I would have, and that I could be her big sister if I wanted. Which made us wonder where the friend we often call our brother has gotten to, as he'd walked off on a walk quite a long while ago. I often find that despite being an only child, I collect siblings however I can. Perhaps just existing with people requires a level of connection that feels you've known each other for a very long time, and that takes a while to develop, a comfort with each other, where the quieting of noise and lack of constant busyness doesn't send people into an awkward panic. In fact, I think a marker of a comfortable friendship is both being able to talk about anything, everything, nothing, and not even speaking at all, and all of these things feeling truly accepted. Much like the search for the tiny fish in the hypnotic moving waters, This is not easy to find and can require a lot of patience and the willingness to keep trying despite disappointments. The important thing is to treasure it when you catch it, even if at some point you must let it go. So, yeah, what do you think? What do you think? Yeah, I have been a bit art blocked. You might be able to tell I'm quite tired today. I don't know if people can tell. I'm really glad to have just had time away from my desk and my work, and I really want to do things like that more on my own as well, which I hope to do soon. But yeah, I have been quite art blocked recently. I'm still obviously working on my serial comic, Toast to the Machine. I'm kind of halfway through my first issue for that. But I was sort of trying to work a little bit behind the scenes on another project, which is maybe semi-autobiographical. But I'm feeling the resistance and the friction with my work at the moment, which usually does mean that I'm actually heading towards like maybe a step forward or a pivot or something different, but it just feels quite out of reach at the moment, and I was feeling a bit down about it, and I was feeling frustrated that I hadn't made a YouTube video in a while and all this kind of thing. So I'm just glad to have stepped away from it a little bit. So yeah, I hope that bit of writing was interesting. I'd be really interested to hear like your comments on things. I'm always really fascinated. Like, yeah, what do you think of my work? What do you think of my comic? If you've had a read of any of it on Webtoon, or you've seen pictures of it. Do you prefer my just individual drawings? Do you prefer drawings like I did here? What's interesting to you? Do you like my writing? Is that something you're interested in? I've been thinking a lot about how with different projects I might like do things that are a bit more text heavy, kind of things that are in a different, that aren't too limited by format. So yeah, I'm just thinking a lot of things are mulling over in the brain. The thoughts are struggling to form today. I'm a bit tired, but I just wanted to try and keep the regularity with the videos because I've been really trying to do that. So I hope it's been okay. Thank you so much for always watching these videos and for commenting and for so many genuine, heartfelt comments and interesting comments and suggestions. Yeah, thinking about what I want to do next and what videos I want to make and all that kind of thing. So working away on a lot of things. Just a reminder that if you ever can support me in a different way, I do have an online shop. I've been trying to remind myself just to mention this because sometimes people genuinely don't know, and I can't expect people to go to the shop if they don't know about it. I don't have tons of stuff in there at the moment, actually, because I'm working on the comic, but I do have prints, and I have some originals in there at the moment as well. I have a couple of zines as well. Anyway, yeah, I'm not making much coherent sense today. I feel quite fuzzy. I'm quite a sleepy person anyway, but everything's been a bit slow. I'm at a much slower speed than I normally am, and I wouldn't say I'm a particularly high energy person. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'm really, really happy to hear that people find these videos comforting and cozy, and I hope to continue to do that. So thanks so much, and hope to see you in the next video. Till next time.